Hi guys, today we're going to cover docking TuneUp to your media player, as well as adjusting TuneUp's preferences. Although TuneUp is a relatively straightforward application, there are a few preferences that should be set to get the best results. As you can see, I have iTunes running. All I need to do at this point would be to launch TuneUp. When TuneUp launches, the very first thing that occurs is the synchronization process. This is crucial. This is how TuneUp catalogs your music. Once the process is complete, you're then ready to clean. But first, we're going to set preferences. The first preference that we'll want to talk about is the docking option. This governs how TuneUp behaves. More specifically, it governs the way TuneUp follows or does not follow on screen. As you can see here, as I move the iTunes window, TuneUp remains stationary. There is a way to pin TuneUp to the iTunes window, and this is done via this option here, which is attach and detach. By attaching, you notice that gap disappears, and now TuneUp is nicely pinned to iTunes. The next batch of options are found within the preference pane. You can access the preference pane by clicking the wrench icon. If you recall, I had to manually start TuneUp separately from iTunes when we first began. There is a preference, however, that controls this behavior and will allow TuneUp to automatically start once your media player, whether that be iTunes or Windows Media Player, is launched. That option is found here. Launch TuneUp with your media player. This preference works in tandem with the Dock TuneUp option. I'm currently on the Mac, so I don't have a media player option, but if you're on PC, you do have the option to choose either iTunes or Windows Media Player. And you'll want to choose your preferred media player here. The next batch of options are found within the Clean tab. Most of the preferences here are actually set to their optimum value. However, there are a few preferences here, as I mentioned, we do want to cover. The first of which is the Try Not to Tag Compilations option. This governs the way TuneUp treats CD compilation material. By enabling this option, TuneUp will do its best to tag the compilation material as if it came from the original recording. For instance, if I were to navigate to the soundtrack song, TuneUp may be able to match it to the original recording if one exists. A secondary example would be from this AC/DC collection here from 2001. That kind of tells me that's a compilation album there. I got another one in there. It kind of tells me that it's a compilation material in which TuneUp may be able to match these songs to their original recordings. Again, I have to emphasize that TuneUp will do its best. It's not 100%, and this is primarily because if you look at these songs, they have different dates in which they were released, which means that the song is not exactly from the original. And because of this, forcing these songs to be tagged to their original recording may or may not be possible. The next preference is Write Cleaned by TuneUp in the ID3 comment tag. This is important. It's a great way of being able to visualize your library. Once the clean process has been completed, you're satisfied with your library, but maybe months down the road, you want to take a look and see what songs you have cleaned or have not cleaned with TuneUp. Of course, you will also need to enable the comments field within iTunes. You can do this by right-clicking on the column and choosing the comments field. The next preference that I'd like to touch on is the remove featuring and feat from artist names. A lot of times songs will have in their title the featuring artist of that song. TuneUp gives you the ability to remove that information so that way the title is clean. The next preference is the Normalize album endings with disc number or CD number or any variation in between. What this allows you to do is simply standardize the way multiple disc albums are named. Remove disc number allows you to remove all of that completely. This allows you to actually place the disc number and all of this information within the disc field of an album. This can also be found within iTunes. The last set of preferences that we want to discuss are the Save Metadata defaults. This is very important because by deselecting the track name, for instance, this will allow you to apply the album artist, track number information, and so on and so forth without actually writing a new track name. It's important to note that if TuneUp is not placing key information into the track name or album or track artist fields, that you check this preference to make sure that it's selected. Lastly, the Profile tab. This is an easy one, pretty self-explanatory, but we will go over it here. Email, you can change your email settings. your location. You simply want to save your changes upon exit, and you're now ready to clean. To help with cleaning and other tips and tricks, please check out the other videos within this series.